Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's your favourite Scotsman here again, and today we are going to look at 7 reasons to take CPP at age 60. Now, typically speaking, I wouldn't recommend that you take CPP at age 60. However, I do recognise that everybody's circumstances are different. In the modern go digital age, it's human nature to want things now. Our lot may have forgotten that patience is a virtue, but when it comes to your CPP, there are consequences to taking it as soon as you possibly can. Your CPP benefit is decreased by 0.6% per month for every month you take it prior to age 65. If you choose to take CPP at age 60, this means you receive 36% less than if you took it at age 65. For life, forever, full stop. Conversely, electing to delay your CPP after age 65 results in an increase of 0.7% per month, which works out to be a grand total of 42% more if you delay all the way up to age 70. 42%. Let's put that into perspective. Quick math shows that if your CPP was a flat $1,000 at age 65, taking it at age 60 would be $640, and taking it at age 70 would be $1,420. And that's before we factor in the annual inflation increases. This isn't financial advice, but one of those numbers is bigger than the other. It's a considerable difference. And you probably don't want to leave money on the table unless there's a very good reason to do so. So let's talk about it. The first reason you should take CPP at age 60 is a pretty straightforward one. You need the money. Maybe you've got some outstanding debts that need clearing up, or your cash flow is a little tighter than you'd like, or perhaps your CPP payments will allow you to leave that desk job behind and semi or even completely retire early. If you find yourself in that situation, then load up. Alleviating yourself of work stress and responsibilities can be more important than optimizing income. If you can't enjoy the extra money, there's not much reason to have it in the first place. The second reason to consider taking CPP at age 60 is if you have health concerns. Now, for the most part, there's some unknowns out there, but at the end of the day, you know your body, your health, and your family history better than anybody. If you think there is a chance that you could depart this thing that we call life a little earlier than would be considered optimal, taking your CPP, even at a reduced amount, is a better option than receiving very little, or at worst, none at all. I mean, after all, you put your own hard-earned money in there over the years throughout your working life. It's better in your hands than someone else's. Just a quick 10-second break here. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. We would really appreciate it, and on top of that, you won't miss another episode. Okay, back to what you came for. The next reason to take CPP early is that you want the money in your hands at the earliest opportunity so you can put it to work for you by investing it. Sounds like a solid enough plan. Well, let's go back to the beginning on this one. If you recall, your CPP benefit increases by 0.6% per month for every month you hold off on taking it prior to age 65. That totals 7.2% per year, which is guaranteed for life. Life. I cannot emphasize that enough. After age 65, the benefit increases by 0.7% per month or 8.4% per year. Guaranteed for life. And that is before we factor in the CPP is indexed for inflation. So where am I going with this? I completely understand the urge to take CPP payments and invest them under your watch, but just be aware that the guaranteed indexed increases are tough to beat, especially if you factor in, once you reach the age of 60, most people are looking for less volatility, and a little bit more stability in their portfolio. A financial planner worth their salt will typically suggest to de-risk from high growth securities to more fixed income investments, providing a more even-keeled revenue stream. Thing is, if your CPP is already providing you with a stable income that's guaranteed, why turn that away for something not so certain? This leads nicely into the fourth reason to consider taking CPP at the age of 60. Let's look at Jim and Laura, who retired in August of 2008, with a plan being to slowly draw down on their investments over the coming years as they sailed off into the sunset of a long and happy retirement. Or maybe they bought a cabin in the Yukon. I don't tell clients what their dreams are, I just help to make them happen. Well, we all know what happened next for the happy couple, don't we? Pretty much anything that you can think of hit the fan, and sailing off into the sunset didn't exactly go as envisioned. Jim and Laura had to re-evaluate their plan, and as a result decided to take CPP earlier than anticipated for the sake of leaving their portfolio intact. Sticking with this theme, and despite what I said in the previous point about taking CPP early to invest, if you do find yourself in a situation where you're eligible to take CPP and markets have taken a turn for the worse, you can consider seeing discounts as opportunities. Fortune favours the bold, and as we all know from looking at past downturns, there is usually a period of sustained growth that follows. It's not guaranteed by any means, but history has proven this time and time again. That being said, just make sure you go with a plan that you can commit to, stick to the script. This strategy isn't for everyone, obviously, but I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't recognise that different folks have different needs. The fifth reason to consider taking CPP at age 60 is to avoid old age security clawback. For more detail, you may want to check out another video of mine on 5 ways to avoid OAS clawback, which you can find here. For today, we'll be keeping it short and simple. If you have income of $86,912 or more in 2023, you will start to lose a portion of your OAS benefits. Once your income exceeds a total of $142,428, you lose it all. It may sound dramatic, and that's because it is. Your OAS could be wiped clean. So, one strategy you may want to consider is taking your CPP early, getting lower payments but for longer, and ultimately keeping yourself under that OAS threshold limit. Think of it as a balancing act. The next reason to consider taking CPP at age 60 is much less common, but still something to think about. GIS, or Guaranteed Income Supplement eligibility. I say this one is much less common because you need to have a very, very low income in retirement for this to be even worth considering. Today's video is not about GIS, so I'm not going to dally. I'll leave a link for those curious in the show notes, but for now, we'll cover the basics. If your income is above some fairly low thresholds in retirement, you could consider taking your CPP early to bring you back below those thresholds, and as a result, qualify for GIS. Word of warning though, be careful with your calculations in this one and think through all scenarios. What you don't want to happen is that you take your CPP early and then find out you don't actually qualify for as much GIS as you thought. Last but not least, on the reasons to consider taking CPP at age 60 is that you've had 8 or more years of low or no income in the past. There's a few different moving parts here, but the most important is this. Your CPP benefits are calculated based on all of the years you have contributed along the way. However, up to 8 of your lowest income years are excluded from the calculation. So how does that impact you? Well, if you expect to have no or very low income from the age of 60 to 65 for example, because you're already retired, then you'll be adding more unfavourable years to the calculation. In this case, you might actually be better off taking CPP sooner rather than later. Again, be cautious. The CPP calculation can be complicated. Get the information directly from the horse's mouth. I'll leave you an information line down below for you to contact a CPP representative directly to make sure you have all the facts before making a decision. CPP is often dismissed as not being an awful lot, but the benefits are understated in my eyes. As I mentioned at the top of this video, I generally don't recommend that you take CPP at age 60 unless there's a very good reason to do so, like the ones that we've covered today. Just be wary of your decision. Make sure you do your research, and if you're unsure, talk to a professional like ourselves and we can point you in the right direction. Don't plan your retirement with guesswork. That's it for today, folks. I hope you've enjoyed the show. If you found today's video helpful, please do hit the like button, and if you haven't already done so, consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss another episode. We'll see you next time.